As we say in Nigeria, Nawa. Okay, buckle up because there's going to be a lot to unpack here. There's going to be a lot to unpack in what is a wild story. And I'm going to tell the whole full story, everything, leaving nothing else, a full objective view of this to the best of my abilities. So let's just first start. So this is African Cup of Nations qualifier. Second leg side, Nigeria have already played Libya, I believe, in Uyo. So they're now trying to, I believe the game is in Benghazi. And the Nigeria are left stranded. They go to another airport, several miles away from Benghazi where they're supposed to land. They're left stranded at the airport. Nobody's there to pick them up. Nobody's there to take them to a hotel. And for about 14, 16 hours, no food, no drink. And as you can see, they're sleeping on seats at the airport. This is a football team. A professional football team who are the guests of their hosts and then being forced to sleep in these conditions. Now, there is a reason why this was done, allegedly, and we'll get that. I told you guys, there's a lot to really unpack here. But from the offset, what? This is wild. This is crazy. This makes no sense. So the plot gets deeper. Troost Ekong is what it says. 12 plus hours in an abandoned airport in Libya after a plane was diverted while descending. So while they were landing, their plane got diverted, which is pretty... Do you know how wild it is? You're literally landing and it's like, no, boom. That's insane. So it's like, okay. So it's almost as if, okay, so there must be a security concern. So there must have been a security concern that meant that the plane was diverted. Libyan government rescinded our approved landing in Benghazi with no reason. We wait, why? Why is there no? Why was that rescinded? They've locked the airport gates and left us without phone connection, food, or drink, all to play mind games. It's pretty crazy to go to these lengths to play mind games, but we go on. At this point, we have called our Nigerian government to intervene and rescue us. As the captain, together with the team, we have decided that we will not play this game. CAF, again, the African Football Federation, should look at the reports and what is happening here. Even if they decide to allow this kind of behavior, let them have the points. We will not actually. No. There's no. There's no let them have the points. No. Troost Ekong, no. That's trash. No, they don't get the points. You get the points. And then we talk about sanctions against Libya and them being banned. That's what happens. No, you do. What do you mean by let them have the points? No. That's not how this works. Okay, that's not how this operates here. No, they don't get the freaking points. No. We will not accept to travel anywhere by road here, even with no security. It's not safe. You can only imagine what the hotel or food will be like. Respect. Okay. Wait. So that was from the captain. Now this is from the NFF. So the Super Eagles still at Al Abrak Airport, 12 hours. 12 hours. That's landing in Libya. The remain at the airport 12 hours. The chartered value jet aircraft was strangely and in a dangerous manner diverted to the small airport away from Benghazi just as the pilot was completing his approach to the Benghazi airport. I'll reiterate this. Unless it was a security concern, which meant that, you can't land in Benghazi. If there was not a serious security concern, but you diverted at the last minute when a pilot is doing the descent, this is insanity. Forget football and everything. Just football to one side. That's risky. Do you know do you know the kind of danger you're already in and the risk you're already taking getting into a freaking plane? And now you're now playing mind games as someone is descending? We understand the Al Abrak International Airport is only used for Hajj operations. It's not even an official airport. Fatigued players and officials have remained non-pulse as the host Libyan Football Federation failed to send any reception team or even vehicles to take the delegation members from the airport to their hotel, said to be 3 hours away in Benghazi. The NFF made arrangements to separate vehicles for the team, but the plan was unhinged by the diversion of the aircraft. Players have resolved not to play the match any longer as NFF officials are making plans to fly the team back home. And there is an update on that. We'll get there. So that's one area of the story. So the question you ask is, why did this happen? So whenever something happens, there has to be a reason. Like, the prime mover, cause and effect. The way the world works, there's a reason for things, and there's a cause and there's an effect. So the wise question to ask, the sensible question is, why did this happen if there was no security risk? So we go deeper. Now let's go to the first game that was played, Libya against Nigeria. And something similar happened. Not the same, but it was similar. The Libyan team were also stranded as well. So now you connect the dots that, okay, we were stranded. We were left for airport for several hours. There was no proper arrangements to take us to where we had to go. It's messed up with our preparation for this important game. Oh, retribution. We'll do the same thing to you. And this is from like a Libyan news outlet. The Nigerian national team's plane will be given permission to land at the Serie airport far south of Libya. The Nigerian national team's mission will be searched by police dogs. The Nigerian national team's waiting time at the airport will not be less than 8 to 10 hours. The Nigerian national team will be transported on old school buses that are not air conditioned. The Nigerian national team's mission will be informed that the hotel in the city of Benghazi are completely full and there is no vacant hotel inside the city, and they're allowed to stay in a hotel that is at least 300 kilometers away from the city of Benghazi. The same treatment that our players received. So we're doing the math here. Retribution. You did this to us, we're going to retribute. Now, there's an explanation, but before we even get to that explanation, let's say this is true. And apparently it's not actually entirely true, but let's say this was true. Do you know how unprofessional it is to now do the same thing? As a government or as a country, there is such a thing as, okay, no, we're not going to go for an iron for iron. We're going to put higher standards. Because what you could do is, we're going to treat you amazingly well, supremely well. We're actually going to go over and beyond how we're going to do it to you. Then we're going to release a story saying that this is how you treated us when we were your guests, and this is how we treated you when you were your guest. And do you know what the situation is? NFF, you are useless. And we focus on how Libya has exposed the uselessness of the NFF and Nigeria organization. But that is if it was intentional. And I'll get that. So this is an explanation from the NFF. So I spoke to the General Secretary of LFF, I think that's Libya, at length on Monday. And he never hinted that his team would be arriving on Tuesday the following day. He only said he would get back to me, but he never did. On Monday evening, someone sent as an advance party by the LFF called me and said his team would be arriving on Tuesday by noon. We made all arrangements to receive the team in Libya on arrival. It was only an hour after the team was airborne that he told me the delegation would be landing in Port Harcourt. That disrupted so many things, but we still raced on hurdles to get approval from federal authorities to allow their plane to fly them to Uyo once they concluded immigration formalities in Port Harcourt. Apparently, that would have meant additional costs to the LFF from the charter company, and they didn't want that, so they preferred to travel from Port Harcourt to Uyo by road. Ayabumi added that the Libyan delegation, so if they traveled on buses that were not air-conditioned, that had nothing to do with the NFF as they hired their own buses. We provided security for them with men and vehicles in front and behind their buses, so we are unmoved about their complaints and threats. Let me give you an analogy. You're walking down the street. Someone comes and like shoves you. Someone shoves you. So you're walking on the street, someone shoves you. You go around, yo, why did he shove me? I don't know, because I wanted to. What's your problem? What are you going to do about it? Then I'll shove you back. We get in a fight whatsoever. But if you say you shoved me because you just wanted to shove me, and your intention was to shove me, I'm going to shove you back. We get in a fight. Warning. Bump to me. Yo, why did he hit me? Sorry, mistake. I'm late for my job. I need to really run, and I'm very, very sorry. I didn't know where I was going. I was just in a rush to get to work. I'm very sorry. Oh, okay, it's fine. Because it was not my intention to hit you. Intent and mistake. Now, guys, I remember when these guys were called the NFA, Nigerian Football Association, and now they're NFF. And I'll hold my hands up. Very useless, disorganized, and I can give you a litany of issues that have been come from the Nigerian Football Federation since the 90s. Since the 90s, the issues that these guys have had are very disorganized, and the amounts of problems that they have created, even with the Nigerian players complaining about how useless they are. 100%. But don't judge anybody or any organization by their past deeds. Judge them by the current situation. What we're seeing here is whatever happened to the Libyan team, it was a misunderstanding. It was a mistake. Nigeria or the NFF did not intend to leave them at the airport. They did not intend to treat them that way. Miscommunication. Oh, you were landing here. We didn't know you were landing here. And that's what happened. But the key thing is that there was no intent of Nigeria to mess things up. The situation we have here is this was a clear intent by the Libyan authorities to mess with the Nigerians. So that is what makes this so odd and so weird. Which is why for the CAF president, Patrice Motsepe, Mr. Motsepe, you have to sanction them, you have to ban them. First thing is now, FIFA may have to be involved in this because this, well, actually, no. This ain't FIFA. This is CAF. Because remember, this is African qualifier. So this is solely a CAF issue. So if you're CAF, sanction, you give the points to Nigeria, you sanction them, potentially even ban them, because you put players in danger. You put the Tunisian pilot in danger by his descending, and at the last minute, for whatever reason, you now divert the guy's plane. And look, and you now have professional players. Forget that. Your guests, you intentionally leave your guests at the airport for 12, 13, 14 hours. This wasn't about miscommunication. We didn't know what was happening. No, you intentionally did this. The NFF can say miscommunication. We're sorry of whatever happened, but this was miscommunication. But you can't use miscommunication here. So, I mean, like for me, see, what I want to hear is, okay, what's the explanation? From the Libyan government, because you have to act. You have to act. If the Libyans do not give a viable explanation, and I'm not sure what kind of conversation you can have, if they don't give a viable conversation, a viable explanation, not any kind of nonsense from their mouth, ban them. Ban them. So I am going to be looking very carefully at how CAF are going to handle this, because if Libya do not receive any punishments from this, it's going to look very bad. Because to treat a team like this, because you felt wrongfully done so, it is beyond petty. It's stupid. It is absolutely stupid. It's absolutely stupid. So again, that's the analogy that I used. Because trust me, the NFF would not intentionally try to mess people up. It would not be intentional. It would be due to gross incompetence. Now, as I've said again, NFF, they have a history of gross incompetence. 100%. And I'll be the first to admit. This situation we have here, no. This is not a situation of gross incompetence here. This is just miscommunication, as we've seen from the information. So, Libya, ban them, sanction them. So I said updates. So, they have found a flight and they're on their way home. So, the last update we had, thankfully, because I think Boniface actually tweeted that, bro, like, we've not ate anything, not drank anything. We're actually worried because we don't know when we're going to go home. We just want to leave. And let's just leave. Guys, do you know how crazy this was? Like, you know that you're about to play a team. And as a government, as an institution, you're just leaving them there at the airports ad infinitum. It is crazy. Like, I'm sorry, Mr. Motsepe, you have to sanction this. No, forget, you've got to ban these guys. You've got to ban these guys. Can't play any African qualifiers anymore. You're thrown to African qualifiers. You're banned from the next AFCON. So for the next 6, 7 months, or for the next tournament, you are banned. Think about your actions. So because again, that's how you punish a child. If you slap a child on the wrist or something, the child will be like, okay, I'll do it again. If you really punish that child properly and you take away their toys, take away stuff that they really care about, then they'll think twice about doing these misdeeds. So for what these guys have done, again, you put players and a pilot's life in danger. So one thing the Nigerian players, the Tunisian pilots. You also put the Tunisian pilot's life as well as the Nigerian player's life in danger, and you were a horrendous host intentionally. Because if Libya say, oh, you did this same to us, that wasn't intentional. If somebody mistakenly does something to you, you don't now intentionally do something to them. If someone intentionally does something bad to you, you are well within your rights to return that same energy. But if someone does something bad to you by mistake or due to miscommunication, okay, no harm, no foul. You don't return a mistake by something intentional. That is complete stupidity. So yeah, we wait till we see how this is going to be done, but messed up.